Nika Diwa is one of TikTok's most popular mothers and family channels, popular for child exploitation, blatant fetishization, and the main topic of today's video, racism and negrophilia. Before we get into that, of course, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going for 400k by the end of the month, and we're really close, guys. We are so close, but I'm scared. I'm getting real scared. If we don't make it, you will never hear the end of it. I will be the most annoying individual you've ever watched in your life. I mean, I already am, to be fair, but whatever. We'll move on from that. Anyway, Nika Diwa is someone that I've made a video on this channel before about. It was a lot more in relation to her parenting practices and the exploitation of her children. We did cover the negrophilia a little bit, but this video here is going to be more focused on it because, I mean, I wasn't aware of the extent of just how abhorrent and blatant it was until very recently. We'll start with this video, which I think is the most popular or most notorious, I suppose, for this sort of blatant negrophilia. Oh, it's unavailable. She finally deleted it. Okay, fair enough. Touche, Nika Diwa. But this was one of our most popular videos, this one. I've got to find this now.
Afternoon. What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
And there you go. That is that is her magnum opus, that one. That is what she's most popular for, from what I'm aware, at least. Just a video of her, like, on a bouncy ball, which is fine. That much is, like, perfectly normal with, you know, big pregnant belly, which, again, that's beautiful. No problem there. Needs to buy a gun, though, because African babies, they're just such monsters that you'd rather die than give birth to one. Whilst her husband in the back is just sort of stood there flexing because a large portion of their audience is incredibly engrossed and fetishized when it comes to black people. I mean, it's the entire reason why they use the verbiage of African. Every other video has the word African in there somewhere. And it's always in reference to, like, African people being beastly or, like, big back or fucking powerful, if you know what I mean, like monster tamers. We'll see a lot more of that exact rhetoric being used in just a second, by the way. But, like, this is a small taste of, like, this is nothing compared to what we see later on. And again, it's a sort of thing that if you look at these videos, and this is a running trend on her channel, if you look at these videos without a critical eye, then they can be viewed as relatively harmless or benign. But the second you start thinking about it from, like, the perspective or the lens of race theory, for example, it does become very disturbing, in my opinion. Like, the words being used here make it sound as though whole African baby is, like, a different fucking species of creature and not just a regular human being. Not to mention, it's not even a whole African baby. Half African, because the dad is Nigerian, but as you can see, Nika Diwa here is Asian. One thing you'll also see throughout this channel is, like, the dismissal of Nika Diwa's own race, if that makes sense, as, like, an Asian lady, or, you know, a darker-skinned Filipino woman. The way she sort of interacts with the internet and her husband and TikTok is as someone who's white. So, like, there are certain videos where it's honestly difficult to realize, like, does she not realize that she is also a person of color? Well, look, we'll talk about those later, of course, but, like, there are videos where she's, like, confused at what microaggressions are. She's like, what is that? I've never heard of that before. I wouldn't be able to tell one apart from just, like, some circumstance. And it's like, no, you're a Filipina woman, right? Like, you've experienced racism before, undoubtedly. I just think it's so interesting how so many of these, like, TikTok mothers, especially those who sort of, rely on negrophilia for a living, actualize their own race when it comes to videos like these and their careers, I suppose. Like, we barely ever hear anything about her own heritage or her own race in any of these videos. Whenever we do, however, it's just more blatant stereotyping. But again, more on that in just a second.
Damn, little lady. You sure can't put it away.
So look, here's another one where the sentence in the caption says the word African 3 times. POV, a whole African husband watching my pregnant wife eat a whole African meal with a half African baby in her belly. At least they've learned that the baby is half African. Also, this is another thing you'll notice, is that they generalize African as an entire race of people, essentially. So Nika Diwa's husband is Nigerian, his whole family is Nigerian, but they never really use the term Nigerian, it's always African. Which, whilst, yeah, I guess it's technically correct, it's more problematic in later videos when they start talking about how African people are a certain way. But this one here, for example, is just a video of a lady eating jollof rice and chicken, or like a pie or a curry or something. But there's nothing particularly special about this. There's no reason to mention the word African 3 times, other than, again, to play into the blatant fetishization and necrophilic interest that your audience has in this channel. But when videos like this come around, it's always interesting to me just imagining the setup. Like, she's eating food, or they order the food and they're thinking like, oh babe, just take my phone, yeah, and just record me eating and I'll act like I don't know you're recording, and then we can make like a whole African stereotype thing about this. Mate, the audience will love it. They love that shit. We do this every day and they fucking love it. interesting that the first video we found of her acknowledging her Filipina-ness and his Nigerian-ness was a video from 2021. So maybe this is like before she realized how powerful the current grift that she is on is. Because this video here doesn't have many likes or views at all. And the views and likes it does have, I'm guessing, is just because it's Nika Diwa and people have maybe viewed it in hindsight. See, videos like this is where the issues start to pop up. But tell me your baby is African without telling me. And the video is just a regular baby sleeping, I guess? And obviously this audio isn't the actual audio of the party. If the party was so loud, why don't use the actual audio from the party? Why would you need to put, like, stereotypical loud African people shouting over it? And again, it's also the perpetuation of this stereotype that Africans are these fucking brutes that just can't keep their voices down and can't accommodate to the children in the room. No, they just have to shout and scream everything because they're too dumb to realize that people around them are, like, sensitive to fucking auditory, like, loud auditory noises, I guess. Not like those kind, polite white people, those Western people who use their inside voices when the babies are around. But regardless, even if it was that loud, babies sleeping through very noisy parties like this is incredibly fucking normal. Like, babies are they're so tired. They're like sloths. I mean, I think the baby's trying to reach for like a boob or something so that they can drink something, maybe? Which again, is incredibly fucking normal for a baby. At the end of the day, it's like, what the fuck does this even mean, man? Like, tell me my baby is African without telling me. Does that imply that if it was like a Greek baby, it'd be fucking like bawling its eyes out because people are chatting about, I don't know, the Minions or something during the party a bit too loudly?
A whole African husband watching my pregnant wife eat a whole African meal with her half African baby. Don't you guys get tired of this bullshit? Last time it was a whole African baby and you wanted to shoot yourself.
I need to buy a gun.
This guy just sort of flexing in the background, it sort of displays to me that he loves being fetishized as well, to be honest. Like co-signing and like playing a part in these videos where it's like just blatant negrophilia. I also don't know why she's so proud of eating like, it's just fucking, it's African, everyone can eat it. It doesn't make you a particularly special person. Everyone in London has had jollof rice. They served it in school. Fair enough, it was, you know, school cafeteria jollof, but it was, nah, it wasn't jollof. I'm not gonna take, it wasn't real jollof. I can't take the piss here. We watched The Lion King, and my half-African daughter said, the Queen looks like grandma. Fuck off, dude. No, they fucking didn't. They didn't say that, dude. That's such bullshit. Oh, look, this is so young, man. They didn't fucking say that. She's lying. Again with the half African thing as well. African isn't a fucking race, dude. Oh, this one annoyed me as well. See, what the fuck does this one even mean? I can't even begin to comprehend what it means. Hearing a crash, but your toddlers are half Nigerian. POV, you think you can say anything because your kid's half African. Do Filipino toddlers just not make any noise ever? Toddlers are loud. Toddlers are loud, disgusting fucking creatures who make loads of noise constantly. That is not an exclusively Nigerian thing. Like this video, all she's saying is, oh, you know, most toddlers are so calm and cool and collected, but man, those cheeky little monkeys over in Africa, they can't do that shit, man. They have to crash into fucking everything, make so much noise, because they're such uncivilized brutes. I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but that's what it reads as to me. You hear a crash, but it was just your toddler. That would have been fine. But you have to the fact that she feels the need to specify so fucking vehemently that it's a half Nigerian toddler. Not that it's a half Filipino toddler. No, the Filipino-ness has nothing to do with why this kid is acting unruly. That has to be, not because of the way we're treating them, not because of the way they're parented, not because they're toddlers, but it has to be because they're Nigerian. There's no other reason why I could be hearing a loud crash right now.
Daddy, question. How did you feel when you found out I was gonna marry a man from Africa?
Oh, it makes the most natural sense.
Okay, why? Because
a man from Africa, a very powerful group of people. That's what you need. You're a woman that has to be tamed.
Yes, the taming woman archetype. I love it. Really great one. That is a good one. I've not heard that one for a while. Just need a big... I can't even say it, but that's what's being said here. Oh, the tiny wee infantilized childish Asian lady needs a big black brolic man to put her in her place and tame her. That is what I'm hearing. I don't know, maybe I'm too fucking woke, but that's what I'm hearing when I see a video like that. You're a woman that needs to be tamed, and the only group of men powerful enough to tame you are the African ones. Me thinking a fight is about to break out, but it's just Africans having a normal convo. Yep, lovely. They're just so brutish. They're just so loud and uncivilized, aren't they? Yeah, but this, again, it's just fucking ridiculous, dude. Africans having a normal You know how big Africa is? You know how many people live in Africa? You know how many African cultures there are that aren't known for being necessarily that loud? You think people in fucking Zambia are shouting over each other constantly? I mean, even the stereotype that Nigerians just can't have, like, normal conversations, I think is unhinged. Dude. See, this is exactly what I was talking about. The small, wee, infantilized Asian woman needs these big, brolic black men to take care of her and, like, defend her and shit. As they all just sort of stand there menacingly with their fucking arms crossed like big bosses. It's just so cringe, dude. It's just so cringe. When these are your big brothers, but you have chihuahua energy. Fuck off, dude. It's like, these are not good stereotypes to be perpetuating to the millions of people that follow you, many of whom I'm sure will be either Asian or black, or both. Like, the way Asian women are infantilized online, I think is fucking insane. It gets to a point where if, like, an Asian woman is aggressive in any way, shape, or form, it's like a huge deal. It's like this unexpected, oh my god, what the fuck? No way, I thought you were just, like, this submissive wee doll. But then it's also at a point where, like, if you criticize an Asian woman online, for example, it's almost seen as like this grave crime. It's like you're bullying a fucking 5-year-old child who doesn't know anything about the world because they're these wee, naive, innocent, infantilized children. I don't know how many people will have been watching me on Shepherd Boy, but there was a wee sort of span of time where I got into some heat from Stephanie Sue fans for, in my opinion, very milquetoast criticisms of Stephanie Sue and her previous mukbang content, which I thought was incredibly disrespectful to, you know, the victims of and murder and everything that she used to cover whilst just eating Cheetos and fried chicken and stuff. I don't want to go too in depth into that here because I don't want this whole video's comment sections to be just about that. But if you're all interested, then it's this video here where I cover it all, so go watch that and subscribe to Shepherd Boy, my second channel where I upload my live stream clips. But after looking back on it and hearing some outside opinions, I genuinely do find a lot of the criticism that I got during that situation rather microaggressive, insofar as I genuinely believe people see Stephanie Sue as like someone who is incapable of being criticized in a way that isn't misogynistic or aggressive. Because despite her being like she's 30 years old, I think. Despite her being a fully grown woman, people see her as like this small, dainty Asian woman. People see her as like this small, dainty, infantilized Asian woman because of the stereotype. And because of that, when I give, in my opinion, incredibly fair criticisms, some people perceive that as me like bullying a literal child relentlessly. Even though she has, again, not to get too into it, go watch the video, undoubtedly done horrible fucking things on the internet in the past. Like, blatant disrespect for victims and families of some of the worst crimes you could ever possibly imagine, and making millions off of doing so. I'm not exaggerating at all when I say I've never encountered a fan base as, like, rampant as her diehard fans. I'm not saying all of them, of course, but, like, there is a very vocal minority of diehard Stephanie Sue fans that will not accept any form of criticism, no matter how critically thought out it is. And I do genuinely believe that a lot of that stems from the infantilization of Asian women online. Which, again, this is a stereotype being perpetuated by people such as Nika Diwa, so I'm not too off topic here as much as I did veer a little off topic. It stems back to videos like this that perpetuate said stereotype, and also the aggressive black man stereotype, which may or may not have also played a part in why people thought I was bullying this fucking woman. I'm not as confident playing that card as I am the infantilization one, but it's possible.
I am shocked, nay, dismayed that you actually think I would leverage this black baby just for views on TikTok. No. I was also able to obtain this.
You absolutely are. Even in this fucking response, why are you having to specify that they're a black baby? Just say baby, dude. You don't need to mention their race every single fucking time.
Ginormous mansion and land, a Bravo TV show, Whose Baby Is That? Airing every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Also, you're absolutely trying to get clout off of the black. You're exploiting. You exploit children for a living. You show children online for a living when they are unable to consent. Need I remind you about this video, by the way, where she literally like films her child getting a vibrator from like the sex drawer, which was absolutely set up, by the way. There's no way this just happened to take place. Like, she set it up so this would happen and thought it would be really funny to make a video out of it.
Zizi, what are you doing? Zizi, what are you doing? What's in your hand? What's in your hand?
I can hear something.
What's in your hand? What's in your Oh my god. Give that to mommy. Give me up, mommy. Give it to mommy.
No.
Why? Can you please give it to
No.
Well, don't rub it on your neck. Don't rub that on your neck.
This is sick. This is sick to upload this to the internet and film it in such an enthusiastic manner. Like, clearly you don't actually give a fuck about the kid having the vibrator, because if you did, you'd use both your fucking hands instead of one trying to, like, half-heartedly get rid of it to make a funny video and the other one just recording enthusiastically. Like, if you didn't have your phone out and you weren't recording, this could potentially be, like, a funny moment that, within the realms of you and your family, right? It's not something for millions of people to see. This kid is very possibly could grow up and fucking resent you for all this exploitation that you are doing to them, I suppose. When your rented black baby is going back because you made your own. Oh, right, I get it. Because maybe, like, this is a kid that was brought in from him that isn't, like, biologically hers, I guess. It just seems like a little bit fucking grim, to be honest, a way to speak about your children. Apparently there's more context to this video and the kid is biologically hers and this is like an in-joke. I don't fucking know. But either way, it's just more videos of her explaining and describing the baby's race vehemently.
You have a middle name that's Nigerian? Otutochukwu.
No, not the name. I didn't think so.
Otutochukwu? That's a beautiful name.
No.
Why don't you think it's a beautiful name?
I can say it.
No one can say your name?
Yeah.
But that's not your problem. That's their problem. You know what your name means? An Otutochukwu in Nigerian means peace. Peace is when we're not scared of anything.
No, that's Udochukwu. That's not a Tutochukwu. That's something to do with God, I think. Also, it's not Nigerian is not a language. There's many languages in Nigeria. Nigerian is not one of them. You want to go Yoruba is the most popular, I suppose. But, like, come on, dude. You should know, like, come on, man. You should know this.
Ion Rose Otutochukwu means God's beautiful dwelling place of peace.
That's a me, Dad.
So, if people can't say your name, is that your problem? No.
No.
See, that's their problem.
That's their problem.
Yeah, they need to take the time to learn how to say your name, period.
Period.
I know that's right.
I know that's right. Let's go.
Oh, you need to learn how to say your name too.
Okay, so this is the start of... This one's not as offensive as the other ones, but this is like one of the things that she also does, which is there is a constant description of these children's blackness, I suppose, as something that is an inconvenience to their lives. The biggest example of this comes in the form of their hair. And I'm sure everyone, especially everyone who's black who's watching this video, will understand the importance of black hair and the politicization of it, because it is political as fuck. And it's something that Nika Diwa obsesses over in a very uncomfortable fashion, in my opinion.
Mixed baby hair is beautiful, but it's also very confusing. I don't know if it is more like black hair, more like Asian hair. It's just like somewhere in the middle. I'm realizing that like the rules for black hair and Asian hair on the opposite extremes don't necessarily apply to my daughter. Like, is gel better than mousse? You know, does she need curl defining cream? All these things. If you have any advice, I'd sure appreciate it. Mixed.
I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out the video there with the baby. The baby has barely any hair to speak of, right? So it's not like it's very difficult to take care of right now. In fact, it isn't. Like any mother because Nika Diwa knows how to do hair. She knows how to do hair. Obviously, she has quite straight black Asian hair, of course, but like it really isn't hard to learn. And the issue with making it seem as though black hair is this incredibly fucking difficult feat that you need to like climb mountains to figure out for the sake of your daughter, it makes your daughter feel as though it's like a huge inconvenience, that they're really inconveniencing you with their convoluted black hair. That's the kind of thing that leads to like a resentment or like a regretfulness or some sort of like aspiration for a hair type or hair texture that isn't your own. Like you can just do your daughter's hair, it's fine. It really isn't like just do it. Just do it. Even if it's a little hard at first, it does not take a genius to figure it out, dude. There's a lot more of this, by the way, a lot more of this.
So your hair is really special. We're trying to figure it out as we go along. Look at that curl back there. So curly back there. And then here it's like wavy. You want a crown?
Mama.
Those curls really aren't that tight at all. They're pretty loose cut, like this really shouldn't be an issue. All you really need to focus on at the moment when they're that young is just keeping the knots out, making sure it doesn't like dread in an unintentional manner, I suppose. I mean, I've got a lot of hair and I'm in my early 20s now, and that's pretty much 80% of my heck hair. It's a lot more of this, however. Still feeling insecure about doing my half-black / Asian daughter's hair, so my sister-in-laws are schooling me. Okay.
Hold on, what?
Nika said, wait, what did you say?
Gorilla snot. Edges.
Yes, yes.
Huh? Do you see what? That's the way for edges. And then you use the brush. Why are there so many brushes? Why are there so many brushes?
You know, I can't even hate on. She's right. She's bang on it. To be fair, there's so many fucking brushes. I don't think even black people understand why there are so many brushes. That one's not nearly as bad though, because we don't actually see the kid. Like, we're not actually seeing her directly talking to the kid about how fucking horrible and difficult their hair is. Not horrible, but difficult their hair is, obviously.
Teaching my half-black baby to love her curly hair. Again, she would love her hair if you didn't bring it up like it's a struggle. Teaching my half-black, half-Asian daughter her skin is beautiful. Why would she think otherwise? She's a baby. Doing my Nigerian
I don't think this is actually incredibly fair, this video here. If you're in like a predominantly white area, for example, and you are a baby who is of color, it is unfortunately like it's not rare to go to nursery, go to school for like in your nursery, maybe you're 4 years old, you go to nursery, and be bullied for having a different skin color from all the other white kids, especially if it is obviously a predominantly white area. In somewhere like London, where I grew up, that's not really an issue, but not as wide, not as common an issue as it would be in like, I don't know, Stafford or something. And that can feel like shit. Like, I know a lot of people who as children would come home like in tears because they got called, they got told that their skin looked fucking ugly or dirty, for example. So it's not as though babies and young people, like very young people, are unable to experience racism or understand that they are viewed differently because of their skin color or hair texture. But in a way, I think that's why it's so important for Nika Diwa to present the baby's hair and skin color to them in a way that is ethical, I suppose, like the most moral way of doing so. And in my opinion, that isn't by making it seem as though it's a huge inconvenience.
braiding my mixed babies hair for the first time. Girl, you braiding some 1A10 ass hair. What the fuck do you want us to do? You want a cookout invite or something over this shit?
Yeah, they're right there though. Like, this is not particularly difficult or curly, like very tight hair.
Is that what you named your daughter? What the fuck is her name? How about you call her name instead of her race? Feeling nervous putting a bonnet on my mixed baby.
Nervous to put a bonnet on. What the fuck? What could possibly go wrong? It's a bonnet.
My half-Asian daughter. Like, you couldn't just say, teaching my daughter? POV, you have a half-black baby. For fuck's sake now. Be so for real.
It's just the constant, it's the consistency. It's every fucking video, dude. Why? Well, I know why, to be fair. Again, it all just stems down to negrophilia.
I've seen that content creator, Nika Diwa. I'm going through her videos again with her baby, specifically her mixed baby, as she keeps saying. And the way that she talks about her baby's hair, especially me as a biracial person, where I did not experience that from my mother when I was a baby. I'm really grateful that my mom always took care of my hair as a baby. One, my hair looks like that baby. I look like that baby, so I'm just like living. And the way that her mom makes her seem like her hair is so difficult to do and difficult to handle when it's really, really not.
Yeah, no, she's bang on. That's exactly what the issue is. She's exactly right. I want to see if I can find some old videos of me on my channel, actually, because I didn't have that experience with my mum and dad. They didn't even mention my fucking hair. It was like pretty much... I was pretty much just forced to buzz it when I was a kid constantly. So like it would grow maybe 2 inches and then I'd buzz it. And then maybe if they were feeling spicy, it would grow 1 inch and then we'd shave the sides and I had like a little bit of a mushroom fucking top on head. But usually I just buzz it every time it grew a little bit. And whenever I even like brought the idea of me potentially just growing it out or not buzzing it fucking immediately, that was like shut down as like too feminine, I suppose. Which wasn't even strictly a parental thing. Like the schools I went to, the Catholic schools I went to, were also like very weird about boys having long hair. I think it got a little better as time went on because I didn't really, like, what were they gonna do, cut it off? But even though I started growing my hair out like later on in secondary school, like maybe 17, 18 years old, I didn't know how to take care of it because I didn't have parents who showed me how to take care of it. And that might have been because they didn't know, not because they didn't care. I mean, I know my parents. I know they fucking care about me, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just had no outlet to learn how to do, like, I didn't learn how to take care of my hair until very recently. Like, I would say 20 years old is when I started, like, really taking care of my hair. And I'm 22 now, so yeah, maybe 3 years ago, I'd say. Maybe, like, late 19, I'm not too sure. But it was late. It was too late. It was a lot later than it should have been. I'll let this lady finish talking, though, because she's making great points here.
Non-black people would ask my mom, because my mom is not black, they'd be like, oh my god, how do you do her hair? Like, her hair is so curly. When back in the day, it literally wasn't. It was like -4. And my mom would just be like, I just do it. She has beautiful hair. That's my baby. That's literally my baby.
Yeah, see, I never got that. I never got that, which is it's quite sad, I think, actually. I never got that because I never really had any hair to speak of when I was a kid. So no one would ever compliment my hair, which is so funny now because this is like, the hair is the main thing I get compliments on, and I love it. I love my hair. I don't even fucking mind when people touch it unprompted or without me consenting. I love it. I love my hair. For the record, if you see me in public, though, probably don't do that, just to be clear. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't have even said that, because I'm thinking back now, I think I actually do mind. It's just very specific types of people that I wouldn't mind. Talking like wee innocent old ladies or something that just clearly haven't seen a hair texture like mine before and are just like dead curious or something, or think that it looks nice. Like, it's impossible to get angry at someone like that. I don't think I'd fucking ever dream of buzzing my hair off now, though. Like, for the rest of my life, I don't think no way. I think that'd bring me down at least 3 points. We're going by a 10-point scale. No, fuck it. It'd bring me down 3 points on a 5-point scale.
Never, like, doing my mixed baby's hair. It was just like, I'm doing my baby's hair because this is my baby. I birthed my baby. I'm looking at these old pictures and I'm just like, oh my god. My mommy.
Yeah, she had amazing hair. I do wonder how my parents would have reacted to, like, my hair texture if I was born a woman, or if I was like a girl, if they would have like maybe they definitely would have put a lot more effort into, or my mum would at least. Just think, because obviously they're dead traditional and they were African immigrant parents. It's like, I come out a boy and they're like, oh, we don't need to worry about his hair then. Yeah, interesting, for sure. I'll see if I can find an old video, actually. Here we go, my first ever video, the Othello homework. Yeah, here we go. This is great. This is like me when I just started to grow my hair. I'm so fucking ugly. This is horrific. But my hair's not too bad here because it's not grown fully. This is like the first time I had ever ventured out of the buzz cut territory, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is me like just starting to grow my hair out. It's actually not that bad, to be honest, but it's a little difficult to fuck up when there's, it's not that bad actually. Maybe I was over exaggerating. That's not too bad. But as it got longer, like closer to this length, my inability and lack of knowledge in how to take care of it definitely began to show a lot more. Yeah, see, this is me my first year of uni, for example, and that is not good. Like, that's bad. It should not look like that. It's me my fucking uni dorm, man. Man, this brings me back. Right, now I am getting sidetracked, actually. Probably the best example here. I remember this video. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is by far the best example. Look at me here. I was living in, like, a very mold-infested house, or flat, rather. My hairline was fucked up, dude. I don't know how I went from this to this, by the way. Like, it's fucking magic. It's insane how much, like, being able to handle stress, bettering your diet, and actually going outside helps when it comes to taking care of your hair. And I remember I tried so hard to, like, make my hair look presentable here, by the way. And this is the absolute best I could do at the time. Yeah, like, look at my hair. This is bad. Like, this is really bad. It's all knotted as well. Like, you can't separate. You can see, like, the curls aren't. I can run my hand through my hair pretty effortlessly nowadays. I would not have been able to do that back then. See, I've frizzed it up a little bit. See, it's still a little difficult. I've got I actually do have quite difficult hair. Even though it's a little bit inconvenient, I can run my hand through it. I would not have been able to do that to this. All right, let's get back to Nika Diwa. My bad about that one, fellas.
Just have those like worms.
Who said? At school?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that sometimes people are not kind.
Well, why is not kind, Mama?
I don't know, honey, but you know what? You know what I do know? I know that you have enough kindness for everyone.
Okay, Okay, so a few things. First of all, this is kind of what I meant when I said that kids don't need, just because they're kids, it's not as though they can be aware of other people and how their hair is perceived or whatever as people of color. But I would also say I don't know how applicable that is to this video, because this seems fake. This does seem rather scripted. Why are people not kind, Matt? Like, what are the chances of her saying these and coming out with these things just as the camera starts recording? I don't know about this one, dude.
Like a caterpillar? You know what a caterpillar turns into? A butterfly! And butterflies are beautiful!
Is that the right thing to say in a situation like this? Oh, someone said my hair looks like worms. Oh, well, you know what, worms? You know what? They're right. Your hair does look like fucking worms. But worms turn into something beautiful. Or caterpillars look like worms and caterpillars turn into something beautiful. Basically saying, your hair might be fuck ugly right now, but it'll turn into a butterfly later, which doesn't even happen. Like, no, the hair is gonna... It's still hair at the end of it. So you're basically saying to your kid that their hair is always gonna be fucking ugly. I understand the sentiment is good intentions, I guess, but like just phrased horribly. But regardless, I really don't know how real this video is. Like it seems scripted in my opinion. Okay, next I want to talk about the pregnancy kink, the pregnancy fetish that she's also throwing around. We'll get back onto the racism in a little bit, but I feel as though, you know, we'll take a little detour now, an interlude, if you will. This is like what's that song in OK Computer? Is it just called OK Computer, the interlude? Oh, Fitter Happier. There you go. This is the Fitter Happier of this commentary video.
Very good. Relax your shoulders. There you go.
That's crazy. The nipple stimulation really works.
It works, guys.
So, for those who don't know, nipple stimulate, this works even outside of labor. It's just for a lot of people, it releases oxytocin. It's like a love hormone and that can make labor and pushing and stuff like that easier, right? Obviously, this is not universal. It doesn't work for every woman. If you're a man, you'll probably understand this as well. Some people some people don't mind. Some people fucking despise when their nipples get touched, and some people are super into it. And I guess some people might just be indifferent, I suppose. I'm not sure if the amount of enjoyment you derive from the sensation actually has an effect on the amount of oxytocin that is released. That'd be interesting to look up, actually. But either which way, as pseudo-intellectual or educational as this video is, and as much as I believe the excuse that will come out when people criticize this is, no, we're trying to educate people, I don't buy that shit, and I think that it is a blatant sort of pandering to the types of people that she knows are viewing her account. Because when you show videos of your baby collecting vibrators from the table, you show these big brolic black men like trying to protect you and being all aggressive and shit, whilst you got this wee chihuahua infantilized Asian energy. You know there are a lot of fetishists and necrophiliacs who watch your channel who are very sexually interested and fetishized in the content that you are making. So content like this, I think, is a little inappropriate and also very intentional, in my opinion. Like, I don't think she just made this video and it happened to be enjoyed by some freaks who happen to have this fetish, who happen to have stumbled across this video on Nika Diwa's channel. No, I think this is all very intentional on her part. Like, she is absolutely procuring a lot of people who have an unhealthy and unethical obsession or fetishization of black people and all the stereotypes surrounding them, and also probably maybe a smaller minority of people who feel the same way towards Asians and the stereotypes surrounding them. I would actually like to look up whether or not how much you enjoy the sensation triggers oxytocin on different levels, though. It does. Okay, interesting. It's a hardwired physical response, often independent of psychological enjoyment. Okay, interesting. Apparently rapid spikes in oxytocin combined with a sudden drop in dopamine, which can happen, obviously, when your nipples are stimulated, I suppose. So some people don't enjoy it because of the rapid rise in oxytocin. Or maybe that's like a potential reason as to why they don't enjoy it. Okay, interesting. We don't need to go too deep into that, though. That's not what this video is about, but interesting nonetheless. It doesn't really take much scrolling on our Instagram to see like the amount of labor videos and pregnancy videos that she puts out, by the way. There's like loads of before and afters. Okay, now maybe let's look at some videos where they talk directly about their experiences with racism. This is where her actualization of her own race becomes a little confusing to me, because it seems as though she perceives herself as like a white woman here. I mean, just the caption itself, is there such a thing as accidental racism? It's like the answer is very obviously yes. Every person of color knows this. In fact, most white people are woke and educated enough now to understand that there is absolutely accidental racism. Or at least, you know, most white people who are, I suppose, online enough to be watching this video.
With me and my family, Emeka was inside ordering, and the girl in the couple starts a conversation with me and is really kind, looks close to my age. She's a white girl who's blonde, and so she's asking questions about me and our family. Finds out that, you know, my husband is from Nigeria and that we were in the Philippines for the last 4 years. At which point she says, "Oh wow, that's a lot of colored people." She kind of laughed it off, like she literally goes, "Wow, that's a lot of colored people." No, I'm just kidding. And then just keeps on telling her story. That was racist, right?
It sounds like there's an element of race.
The term colored has a lot of racial prejudicial history. It's usually not socially accepted to refer to people of color as simply colored. Doesn't seem like a big difference, but it's the same reason why you don't typically refer to a group of black people or black people as a collective as blacks, unless you are intentionally trying to rage bait people or you're, I don't know, fucking Charlie Kirk or something, which... and you can't really do that anymore, but you know what I mean. But he's an interesting example, though, because he would do it as an intentional means of rage baiting people, as opposed to, I don't know, maybe an older person who is using the term colored in some sort of ignorant fashion to where they don't know the implications of said word or don't understand that it is now deemed as an offensive way of collectivizing black people. Whereas a lot of people on the right who are more politically aware, like Charlie Kirk, for example, would use it in an attempt to maybe goad a reaction out of the person they're debating so that they can shut it down with, well, what's the issue? Like, there's just, I'm black people, I'm just describing them as what they are. It was provocation. It was provocation, essentially. But this lady here, from the sounds of it, is not using the word colored or the term colored as like an intentional means of provoking or racially profiling people. It does seem as though she was just ignorant to the implications of said word. So yeah, it's just an accidental microaggression or an accidental instance of racism. Doesn't make them a particularly horrible person by any means, but it's not that complicated, really. And as a person of color, it's something that we've all experienced this. Nika Diwa included absolutely has experienced this. So I don't know if this confusion here is performative or if they are genuinely this unaware of racism, I guess.
Why would a person say something like that unless they were affected by the institution?
Yeah.
At some point, she obviously recognized that there was something, you know, something off about what she said, and she laughed about it. But there's still like a bunch of questions. These are questions I want to put to you guys here. Like, was that an attempt at prejudice? Was she... maybe she even meant like saying, oh, that's a lot of colorful people, and it came out colored. So could there have been like a latent racism thing under there? Because of all of you, we get to ask the questions and really
have meaningful conversations.
Have great conversations and educate one another.
Right. Yeah, let us know what y'all think.
I don't know. I hesitate to say this, but I don't think it's that deep. I think it's very obvious what happened here. That's by far the tamest of these videos, though. Like, it gets a lot more confusing. My black husband was racially profiled at the most famous grocery store in Texas. Again, black husband. Come on. Wait, what is this fucking... look at the hashtags. Hashtag angry black man. Why have you put that as a hashtag, you... Come on, dude! How can you complain about people racially profiling your husband and then caption the video angry black man? You're taking the piss!
I've never been so disrespected. And to be disrespected by that and the manager just be like cool with it.
I'm shaking right now because
your husband is complaining. He sounds quite angry about being disrespected, which is completely reasonable, of course. You know, we're gonna hear this story. But then you have gone on to caption the video angry black man and also make an entire fucking career out of negrophilia and fetishization of black stereotypes and African/Nigerian stereotypes. You make hundreds of thousands off of racial profiling. So regardless of what this story is, it sounds a little fucking hypocritical of you, to all people, to complain about this.
Pretty sure just racially profiled at a grocery store. I'm not going to drop the name and the location, as tempting as that is, because there is a larger issue at hand. Oh my gosh. He was doing grocery pickup, and the lady bringing out the groceries begins to load the car. My husband then comes out of the car because he got a notification that they were not able to get all the groceries on the list, and so he starts checking the groceries. At which point, this lady says in a really aggressive tone, "Sir, no. I'm gonna need to see ID." He's just like, "Okay, ma'am, yeah, I'm gonna go get my ID in a little bit. I'm just gonna," and she goes, "No.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it." Don't touch it. He waves over a manager that he sees. The manager comes by. The lady who treated him this way is cursing and really demonstrative, is walking by my husband in front of this manager, laughing at him, pointing at him and leering at him, and even goes to talk to somebody else and points at my husband and starts laughing at him. My husband points this out to the manager and he does nothing about it. I'm not black. I'm not going to pretend to be black, but I'm a mom who has kids who are half black. And this kind of racial profiling at a high corporate level, you guys, in 2023 blows my freaking mind.
It's so supremely frustrating. It's the stigma of the angry black man. Not all black men are angry all the time. But guess what? If an injustice happens, I'm allowed to be frustrated, and not even like an apology. Not even the slightest apology, not even an acknowledgement.
Yeah, absolutely. Not all black men are angry all the time. It's such a shame that Nika Diwa has almost made a career out of stereotyping black men as brutish and angry and aggressive. It's every other fucking video. It's like, oh man, I can't believe how loud and obnoxious these black people are. I can't believe how irresponsible and loud and aggressive my fucking black toddler is. Because as we all know, the aggression coming from my toddler has to be because of the Nigerian side. If it was just a Filipino toddler, they'd be calm and lovely and sleepy and fucking, I don't know, they'd make food or something, or do maths, or play piano. What's like a Asian thing? Asian people are smart and play piano. Black people are brutish and angry and slam themselves into fucking walls because they're so dumb. Or if you want to swap it, black people are cool and strong whilst Asians are small and dainty and infantilized. It's like both of these stereotypes are equally as harmful to both races in similar and different ways. And it's not productive to have an entire fucking account where you perpetuate these stereotypes whilst also complaining that the stereotypes exist. You have a huge part to play in why people believe these stereotypes, especially the people who watch your videos. Like, imagine how confusing it must be for like a longtime Nika Diwa fan who enjoys our regular content to watch a video like this, because it's like, well, that's kind of why I'm here, to see the aggressive black man stereotype that you're constantly pushing out. So why the fuck are you complaining about it now? Like, do you want me to leave or something? POV, you're a black American experiencing racism, prejudice in Europe.
No, it's just like a hint of like...
Slight racism?
Well, it's like, you know, we're in the plane, and I ordered my drink first. She didn't bring it. I asked her a third time, she didn't bring it. Meanwhile, she's bringing drinks literally repeatedly to everyone around me.
Oh, wow. How do you know when it's like racist versus circumstantial?
It's the attitude.
This is it. How do you know it's racist versus circumstantial? It's like, it really is like she thinks she's a white woman. Like, you're a Filipino woman who's experienced racism before. I understand maybe you can make like the excuse that she's like trying to goad an information out of him, like a good interviewer. But I don't know, it really doesn't seem that way to me, because this is not the only time she does stuff like this. Like, this is constant.
Like, even when I'm talking to her, she won't like look me in the eye, and she was just kind of like, yeah. Over here at the perfume place, she put her finger out to me. Wait. She said, wait. And then she was like, you want to? Yes, I'd love to buy that.
You should have done like Pretty Woman and said, big mistake. Huge. Man, I'm sorry, baby.
Like, it's part of life.
Part of life from the black point of view that other people can't understand. True, but like, Asians also experience a type of racism that black people won't be able to understand. And I feel like that isn't being spoken enough here. Like, I feel like it's not even ever acknowledged. Like, we never hear... I'm not saying she's obligated to talk about her Asian side or her ancestry or her culture by any means, but the fact that we never hear... Well, we do, but it's so disproportionate, if that makes sense. Are you trying to make your kid or teach your kid to completely or mostly disregard their Asian side? Ideally, I feel like ideally, if you're a biracial kid, you'd be able to identify with both aspects of your race. You know, you'd get on with both families and you'd have, I don't know, it's like, being biracial is fucking cool. I'm not biracial, I'm just mixed, but I don't identify equally with every aspect of my race, for example. And that is something I'm a little saddened by. Like, I would like it if I was, if that makes sense. I feel like, you know what it is? Me complaining about this as well, it's like, it's strange because this is something that, from what I understand, many African Americans also go through. But they don't know exactly where they originate ethnically, you know, because of this thing, you know, might not have heard of it, this thing called slavery. So yeah, it's definitely not an issue that people can't relate to. I'm sure a lot of people watching this video feel the exact same way. But I guess it all just stems down to like, like, what am I really? I'm the same way African Americans are Americans, I'm British. Like, yeah, I'm Egyptian, I'm black, I'm brown, I'm all these things, but I'm also just British. It's the culture I know the most about. It's the culture that I've spent the most time in. I'm a British man. And I'm not saying that I'm unhappy with that, by the way. I quite like it here, and I like being British. I think it's cool. I think there's a lot of things to love and appreciate about this. You know what? This is getting way too off topic. This is a topic for another day, I think. We just start talking about race, and I like talking about race, so whatever. Yeah, before we get way too off topic, I think it's about time that we end the video. So, as always, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, especially because we need to get to 400k. I've dropped my microphone. We need to get to 400k by the end of the year. We fucking have to. And if we don't, I swear to God, you don't even want to know what I'm gonna do. But, alright, man, I'll catch you on the next one, hopefully. Bye!